Hey guys, how you all doing? Today I'm going to be trying something new. It's going to be more of a T-sided series. I'm just going to look at a player throughout a game and just talk over a POV demo essentially and how they're playing here. So today it's going to be AdreN. He's if I had to categorize him, he'd be the entry fragger for Gambit. He likes to get in there. He's very aggressive, and this is very important on train to push the CT side back, push up these train lanes here, and that's exactly what's going to happen in this first clip. So you'll see here, AdreN, again, look at this, he's just full out. He's not stopping, he doesn't need to check the bomb side. He's creating space for his team, so he forces that player back. He actually gets team flashed, I believe. But you see, look at all this pressure, him and Hobbit and Mo, they're all up here. Fnatic have no breathing space at all, you'll see. Just look at the map, I mean, there's nowhere for them to go. Dozier and Zeus push back into brown holes, and there's basically nothing Fnatic can do, and it's a really easy round here. And that was all off AdreN with the initial aggression. Obviously, there was an ace in there, it wasn't him, but just the space was all created. I'm going to just keep it fast forward. There's going to be a little bit less editing in this series. Let me know what you think of that, or if you prefer to me maybe to edit it down. So this second one here, as I said, normally AdreN's the entry fragger, but in this situation, it wouldn't make sense for him to be. You got to send the SMGs first. You see Hobbit's up here with the Mac 10. AdreN's going to hold these longer range angles. So you see Hobbit comes out with the simple flash and smoke execute, the same one they use in the pistol round actually. So he's just holding the long angles. He's lucky Dennis didn't see him. You see he's just forcing these players back, holding the long angles, giving Hobbit again. Hobbit's got the space to push up while he's holding. He'll be communicating what angles he's holding. That gives Hobbit confidence. This peek here I really like. So you see he hears Olofmeister running in the halls, and this is something should be used in a lot of situations, is people are too passive, too scared. If you hear a player full sprinting like that, just peek him. Like especially if you know by themselves and you're probably not going to get traded, like in that situation, just peek him. You have the advantage. We all know about the running inaccuracy, and they're probably not going to be expecting it. Obviously he could have fallen back towards the upper area and taken the long distance fight, but he decides to take that approach, which I actually prefer in the end. Of course, he could delay Olofmeister, but I don't know, I prefer to just peek off him. I'm not normally that aggressive of a player, but that's just something I like to do and think should be utilised more. This round here, I'm just going to fast forward this one. Unfortunately, there's no bind to go to the next round, so obviously I use binds to go faster, to increase the speed of the demo, but yeah, for that one, there isn't one, which is a bit annoying. So this round here, this boost here, I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. You can see a little bit more on top of the green train or whatever, but I don't really think it's utilising that much. So you'll see, this is in 4 times speed. Let me know if this is too fast, or yeah, just give me feedback on this whole series really in the comments. So you'll see here, they try and fake it in. Yeah, Hobbit throws a smoke. They throw the two smokes. So they draw in Flusher a little bit, but the rest of the team doesn't really move. Maybe on another map, this much utility would catch him off, but on a map like Train, where you can rotate down Pop Dog, exactly like AdreN's doing here, the CTs can't move that much onto the B site, and there's no reason for them to, really. And you'll see the round quite easily goes Fnatic's way. Now, round 5 here. Again, this is the same. This is going to be the same as on the B side on the pistol round, how you saw AdreN push right up the train, up the side of the train, and yeah, just push the CTs back. He creates space for his teammates, which is the main thing an entry fraggers should do. Like obviously you want the frags, but you also need to create space and make the refrags for your team as easy as possible, or just allow them to get out, use their utility and get the bomb down. So you'll see the round starts off a little bit slow here, so I'll speed it up. But come on now, this smoke here pretty useful. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And you see he just comes out, and again he's not stopping really. He checks E-box, but he's just out, and he knows the path he has to take, and he starts to slow down. Unfortunately, no one's really with him, it appears. Everyone else seems to just be waiting for him to try and do something, and JW picks him off, and the round just falls apart from there. This round is, he has the Deagle, just him has Glocks and stuff really. This is just him knowing angles. So you see, good entry frag and knows an angle like that. It's just skill, really. Like, there's not really too much for me to analyze there, except for AdreN knows his angles. Yeah, and he's happy to say another thing here. Another nice shot here. So he knows that players often peek back there. Maybe got the info, then it's fine. That's just nice shots. But besides that, this round's kind of over. His team didn't have the armor, the guns, or any of the utility to finish it off. So this next round here, again, so they got their next full buy. and I believe they end up going A. I'm not 100%. So you see, okay, maybe it looks more like a B. But they're all just slow walking here, and you see as soon as this ult fires, he's up to try and trade him. Again, he throws a nade down there. I'm not a huge fan of the nades in the T side. I feel like an extra flashbang can be used a lot better. But that's up to you to decide. I did quite a bit of a demo watching on just how nades are used, especially on Flusher. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the top right corner now. But this is one thing I do not like from Gambit. They need a pick or something or to execute in this situation. Obviously there's a whole minute left, so they might want to bleed out some utility, but I'd still go for a pick or something maybe. They just leave AdreN in this so you see Hobbit, they're just kind of waiting. Obviously, like, yeah, so Zeus is still there, but they're probably trying to go for that pick in A main. But this angle from AdreN, he's not really achieving much. I feel like it's very unlikely a CT is going to push upper like this in this angle, especially with the man advantage they have. It'd just be dumb, and I really don't see why anyone would do that unless you're in one of your games and you just got some cocky bastard who wants to frag hunt or RWS or something. See, he ends up coming out. But the round's essentially over at that stage. They've lost too many players. Just this one smoke and flash right at the start of the round. You see the utility it drew in. I think there was a Molotov and 2 nades that got drawn out, which could be a big thing later in the round. Obviously, nades, they do damage, but they're also very good at slowing down a push. As you know, if you get tagged by a nade, your movement speed decreases dramatically, which is one way to use them. Actually, it actually buys that extra little bit of time. So as you can see here, they haven't won in a while. Yeah, things just haven't been going their way. I purposely picked this demo for that. I purposely didn't pick one where AdreN just dropped like 20 kills in the first half. I wanted more of a normal kind of game. I think they end up winning this game 16-14 overall, but AdreN ends up, because he's nothing special to be honest. So that's a connector smoke right there. You see again with the Tech 9s, obviously we all know you have to be aggressive. This was before the nerf of the Tech 9. But AdreN, again, I believe he'll be going out first. And again, it will be the aggression. You see, actually he comes out second, but you see here, he's not scared, and he creates some space. Now I'm going to slow this down. So his whole team does a very good job of being aggressive. Fnatic maybe should have been more aware of that. They shouldn't really be in this situation. We see he's just holding this angle here. Bit of an off angle, which is what you need when you have the disadvantage in the guns. Obviously, they're hoping Zeus can open something out. He doesn't have to worry about that angle because, as you can see, Zeus has got it covered. And then Hobbit's just holding the rest, so Zeus could get flanked. That would be the round over. But they have to take some gambles here, which work out quite well. And this is one thing I like about after plant positioning. See how he just jiggles out? He gives them their position, but he wastes a hell of a lot of time. He peeks out, he has to shoot at him. And then Flusher's not sure when he's going to peek again, and you see he peeks out again 1 or 2 seconds later, and he's just delayed enough time. His teammates are able to reposition, especially Hobbit's able to get in there in his face and just finish off the round quite nicely. Another one here, another example of when he entry frags quite well. Again, getting aggressive, which is of course needed for an entry frag. Yeah, huge testicles. So flashes himself in. This is something nice, just to push him back. You see, they do have 2 players quite aggressive, JW and Dennis here. So you see AdreN straight past him. He doesn't care about them. There's 2 guys on the side. He wraps all the way around. Look at this. JW is not expecting that at all. They're expecting him to fight, whereas AdreN is more of the player. That's why I'm not 100% sure about him being an entry frag. Like, he does entry frag, but he's more of a just try and run past them and create space rather than frag them. I mean, you notice some of the A side, he doesn't really check E box properly when he runs out A main. He just kind of like half checks it and just keeps sprinting up down Olive and down the side lane there. He just creates space, which is something I really like from him, and something you could definitely do in most levels of players. The coordination from the CT side that most of you guys will be playing against would be nowhere near as good as Fnatic's or anything like that. And you see the way he does it. He's not, like, obviously he can frag, he frags well, and he's a good shot, but just his movement is creating space more than anything, a little bit of utility usage. So see here, it's a full eco from Fnatic, and I believe something goes wrong here. No, not this round, sorry. And you see, they're good at playing the range. They're not running out in amongst the trains, which is something that can happen on this site, on this map. Sorry, is you can get caught if you try and push out onto a site without proper utility, proper Molotovs, especially. You can have 2 CTs sitting between sitting between the trains, and just, yeah, you can run into some pretty nasty crossfires in this map, which is why when you know you're facing an eco, Molotovs, or just play super passive to start off with and execute later in the round with a lot of Molotovs. Is probably the best way to do it. So you see here again, he's gearing up. He likes this spot here. I think it's because he can't really be spammed, and if anyone tries to go for the information peek, he'll be able to pick him off. So this flash here is obviously pretty good. It's designed to get anyone playing close. But this time, he doesn't really go for his usual push up the side. He decides to mix it up and he runs up this side. I don't know where he got shot from just then. But you see he's still going aggressive. He's just changed his path up a little bit. And he's right in their face. And you'll see here, obviously the bomb's going down, but they don't really... Look at the space he creates. He drops Crims to 50 HP. Forces him right back. Now you see he wants to play safely and... let Mo, I think it's Mo or Mo, I hope I'm not saying it wrong. But you see, they're just able to play together. Watch the two spots, they could come in, feed each other information, and it works out quite well. AdreN, he's playing quite well. I mean, what's his score? I mean, he scores 9-8, so nothing impressive, but you can see the impact he's having for their team and how important he is. So here he goes for the spawn-based play. Pretty simple, he knows one's back there, but they end up just switching back here, since he's not the primary AWPer. Now, what happens here? See, nothing goes wrong over there. But they get in towards the site. Flasher gets one kill. He might even get the second here, I'm not sure. I think what happens is they're looking over at Ivy. Zeus ends up getting... yeah, he ends up getting traded. And then JW is able to walk straight into the A main. I'm actually going to go back and watch that again. Okay, so I want to see what happened here. I don't know if I said that before. I want to go back and watch this again. So see, he was holding quite passive. We have a 4v3 here, and what starts? What happens here? So they decide to push out, and you see... Okay, this is what I don't like, is they didn't Molotov out stuff properly, and JW is just able to push around the back. I mean, they just got timing. I don't know. They'll both look in the same direction. I guess that was just a miscommunication. Something that shouldn't really happen. You should... Obviously, you want to be cautious, but I would have liked if they mollied off that left-hand side. You see they had a couple of mollies to use. Always had the right idea about pop, but it's not your hugest worry. It's quite a distance towards there. If you're just completely ignoring that whole left-hand side, that's exactly what happens to JW. I would have preferred the Molotov goes in there, the concentration on that area, rather than pop dog in that situation. So the last round here, looks like they're going to go for some kind of full execute. So they all line back up. AdreN, okay, he changed his mind. Where's this going to land? It's an interesting smoke. This seems like they're creating a path to the bomb site. You see everything is perfectly lined up. They make sure no one's on top of a brown train. You see that I think there's a smoke further back, and you see the path is through the smoke in this situation for AdreN. A nice little pop flash through from his teammate. And you see he just ends up walking into the spray by a flusher. A little bit unlucky. Him and Dozier just line up and turns into a 3v5. One thing I didn't like here is if you look at the mini-map, I mean, what the heck is the rest of the team doing? I mean, Dozier and AdreN went out, but I mean, I think Zeus, he threw that initial flash, or maybe it was Dozier, but I mean, they're not really helping out at all, and they end up pushing again. I mean, I don't know what they were hoping to achieve. Maybe hoping Dozier and AdreN could go for some kind of godlike play and create like some kind of 5v3 where they could just kind of walk out afterwards. But to me, it just looks like a poor execute. Something I'd get really frustrated about if I was playing is if my teammates just didn't follow him out into a site, and that seems to what have happened here. I liked AdreN's play, I liked the flash to the smoke, but besides that, the rest of the team just wasn't really there to help him out. And that's all, guys. Let me know exactly what you think of this, whether you liked it being less edited, or whether you think I should cut it down to little segments like I do for the CT Specialist series. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.